What the was that?
So that white scar up there is where we got to go, to the left of it. It's where it all unfolded. And as you can see, it was not a small drop.
And all of a sudden you run up on a group of cow elk. And what do? You just give chase, give them a test. And this big meadow just over the hilltop I could see is a absolutely perfect testing ground, runway for these elk to just use the terrain to go down with gravity. This is incredible cliff face right here. So that's, you know, they'll use water, they'll use the terrain to keep some portion of the wolf risk at bay. But man, it's hard to say in this one. We're walking in fresh elk tracks. They're traveling through here a lot. This elk, you know, all of these elk probably know this place really well. But when the wolves are on your tail, you got to do everything you can to stay out of those jaws.
What's cool is you think, you know, at least 13,000 years ago, there's people, tougher people than we are, hanging around here. And, you know, they're always watching, right? Always listening. And how many times did they see this happen? So if you're a hunter-gatherer trader and you're out here, you're going to see this multiple times, and you're not stupid. Yeah. And you're like, huh, oh yeah, yeah, we use rock faces and rocks.
We can do that too.
Yeah, we can do that too. Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
But you can obviously see, or, you know, plausibly see, you know, like she may come right to this cliff face initially, been like, ha, you're not going to get me. You know, how long did she stay on this cliff face or on a precipice? We don't know. It's like she could have been working her way down this whole thing as the wolves were trying to get some advantage. But you can see the terrain just guides them right down to the point of no return, really.
And this stuff, it kind of puckered me up just to even get close to this edge. You can envision having, who knows how many wolves, 10, 5, thumbs, doesn't matter the number, but you're slipping inside. Yeah.
Here's the point where you're committed. Like there's no exit point.
Yeah, and you think there could have been, because I think it turned out being about 10 wolves total. And, you know, like they hunt all the time, right? There's not every wolf in on the attack. There's some spread out. So you're kind of encircled in this area.
Yeah.
And there's no, yeah, you could take off and run through it, but you're using this cliff edge as an advantage. And then maybe one wolf decides to come in hard, gets a little squirmish. And, you know, who knows? The wolf could have gone off too, right?
That's one of the risks. It certainly happens with lions. You know, they latch onto a sheep or a deer, and they go right off with them sometimes.
This is insane. This elk.
Yeah, how she got down in here, man, you just see a
How tough they are.
Trying to preserve life and limb, and they're going to all lengths. It's nuts. You would have to be in that space to do this at speed. You know what I mean? Because she most likely did. Wolf makes a move, nip. She jumps and just goes right into whatever she can to escape them.
You can see the branches right here broken off, and now just start imagining.
Like, there's not hardly enough space for you.
No, I know, and I'm like,
imagine her in that place. It's solid rock. She's got hooves, not climbing shoes. She doesn't have great traction.
20 feet down is where the first bigger branch snaps.
I think that's where she picked up speed.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, it's just speed, mass, boom. But if I were to guess, an educated guess, this is the end point here. You could just see.
Yeah, like you said, there'll be wolves that are engaging, but then there's other ones that are kind of just hanging out watching from the flanks, young ones, adults that aren't in the actual hunt, and you're not getting away easily. I've seen a few of them where the wolves just get tired out. They're like, all right, we aren't going to make any headway here, so let's go check something else out, and the elk survived. I think that happens probably more than people realize.
Yeah.
But it does happen enough. And this one is just extraordinary.
But when you recreate this and you think about it, the struggle for survival,
You see crazy stuff.
yeah, you give homage to the elk and you give homage to the wolves, and in this case, the wolf won.
Yeah. How long was it between when she fell and showed up on the camera and the wolves started to feed?
Yeah, it was 2 minutes, and let's go. Let's make that trek ourselves. It went down here, shot down. So you can imagine, like, how long did you stand here? What conversations did you have with each other? Who was the first to say, I'm out of here, let's go?
I got dibs! I was the one who nipped her before she fell.
10 wolves trying to get in front of one another, racing down. Did they cut straight down? Who took the shortest route?
The liver's mine! We were up there. It only takes one bad step and you're falling, gosh, what is this? 40 feet? 50 feet? It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
And you just clean the limbs completely off that side of the tree. It's astonishing. I've only seen a few instances of this happening from above, but to have this documented in the way it has been, it's just insane. You know what I mean?
And then to land right in front of center frame,
On the camera.
a camera trap.
Yeah. And see the wolves show up a couple minutes later.
Probably never ever happen again.
Mm-mm. No, this is very unique. I've seen instances of these standoffs. One of them was out in Lamar, and it was 40 below zero. We could hardly stand it. And there's wolves that had cornered elk on a precipice just like this. And they were there all evening till the lights went out, and we showed up first thing in the morning, and they were still there. Yeah, and there's a beautiful ramp up top where you can just totally see that chase taking place, right? They're running down through that sage flat, big open, no forest, no trees, just running downhill using gravity to get the heck away from those wolves, and then taking a post where half of their flank is guarded by a cliff.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy, but she must have just come off that overhang. It would only take one nip of the heel or one contact. You could easily see where one misstep is then taken and you fall to your death.